She's letting them know.
Jefferson County Court, law number 2 is now in session. The court is in session with the jail run docket. First case is called number 24 CCCR 2854, case of style of state of Texas versus Horace Gordon. Mr. Gordon, would you please come forward? Mr. Gordon, how are you doing?
Good, right?
That's good. Now, Mr. Gordon, your case was reset on this day because you have a felony case. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Now, have you been to the felony court?
Yes, sir.
What happened in the felony court?
It's been reset to March 13th.
March 13th?
4 weeks from now.
What did you say?
4 weeks from now.
Yeah, so they gave you, did they give you a court date? Or did they just say 4 weeks from now?
March 13th.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
okay. You're gonna check and see if they put it in the computer.
March 13th.
Oh, you got the paperwork right there? Okay,
Okay.
okay, this case is gonna be reset the same day, March 13th. What they reset it from the higher attorney or what's the check on that? Employee,
It just says arraignment announcement.
oh, okay, okay. So this case will be reset to March 13th, 2025. Now, on that day, what you're gonna do, you're gonna come and check into this court.
First.
Yeah, first with the bailiff. And then you're gonna go down to the felony court, and when you finish in felony court, you're gonna come back here and let us know.
So I was supposed to come here first today?
Yeah, well, that's not a problem, you're here. But when you check in, you're gonna check in with the bailiff. And the bailiff will let us know that you're here. And then once you go to the felony court, you're gonna come back here once you finish in felony court.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay, so your case is gonna be reset to March 13th, 2025. You're gonna get your reset from our court coordinator. Once you get your reset, you're free to go. And you have a blessed day.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
And your grandparents, y'all have a blessed day too. This is cause number 24 CCCR 1894. Case is style of state of Texas versus Christian Michelle.
Tommy Butler.
No, it's a different guy.
Oh, it's
There's
two
two
butlers.
butlers here.
Okay,
Right.
is this, let's see, let me get the right one up.
This is Tommy Butler.
Yeah,
criminal
Tommy Ray
trespass.
Butler.
The 13 days time served,
Yeah, okay, Ray Butler.
so you be good to go.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay, Tommy Ray. Okay, this is cause number 25 CCCR 0160. Case is style of state of Texas versus Tommy Ray Butler. Mr. Butler, is that your full name?
Tommy Ray Butler, yes, sir.
Mr. Butler, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Butler, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Mr. Butler, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Butler?
I'm trying to make it do the best I can.
Okay, just hang in there. Hang on, don't hang up. Now, Mr. Butler, you're represented in your case by your attorney, Attorney Langston Adams. Attorney Adams, how are you doing?
Doing well.
And Mr. Adams, do you waive a record in Mr. Butler's cases? In Mr. Butler's case?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Butler, the state is represented in this case by Attorney Shane Hilton. Attorney Hilton, how are you doing?
Good, Your Honor. How are you?
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. And Mr. Butler, I have before me on my computer a document that is titled Information. This information was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information, it alleges that you, Tommy Ray Butler, on or about November 14 of 2024, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class B misdemeanor offense of criminal trespass. Mr. Butler, do you understand what you have been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to this charge, how do you plead guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
Are you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges?
I do not wish to argue or contest with the people because of, situation.
Just say no, you don't.
No, I don't want to.
Yeah, I see.
I don't want to
Mhm.
press on with the charges.
Okay, now, Mr. Butler, I also have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishment. You recognize this document? Okay, on page 2 of this same document, there are a set of initials TB on a line next to boxes checked no contendere. Did you place your initials on this document?
Yes, sir, I did.
On page 3 of this same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes, sir, it is.
And on the next document, there's titled trial court certification of defendant's right of appeal. Do you recognize this document? And
Yes,
is,
sir, I
and is this your signature on the line that's titled
Yes,
defendant?
sir, it is.
At the top of this document, there are 2 boxes checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement?
That's correct.
The second, that's the only box that's checked. Now, I also have a document on paper that is titled discovery certification. Do you recognize this document?
I haven't seen
Yeah, you
it.
signed.
Yes, sir.
Is this your
Yes, sir.
signature on the
Yes,
line
sir.
that's titled defendant?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Butler, before you sign and initial these documents, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir, he did.
And did you understand everything that your attorney went over?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct
That is
to the
correct.
best of your knowledge? Mr. Butler,
That's permanent.
Mr. Butler,
Yes, sir.
are you a citizen
Yes, sir.
of
I
the
have-
United
I-
States?
Yes, sir. I have to update my credentials. Currently, my birth certificate and my
Yeah, he's a
ID.
citizen, just.
Yes,
you're
sir, I'm a citizen,
That's
yes, sir.
that's it.
Okay, now, Mr. Butler. Well, state, you like to offer state's exhibit number 1?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any
No
objections? No objection. State's exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Adams, you advised and counseled Mr. Butler. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
None.
And Mr. Butler, your attorney, Mr. Adams, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his services?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Butler, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
And what is the agreement?
It is 13 days in county jail, credit for time served, and that's that court costs be taxed and retired, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Butler, the state is offering that you serve 13 days in Jefferson County Jail, but you would not be required to serve any more time in the Jefferson County Jail because you'll be placed on probation for what you will be given credit for the 13 days that you've already served. The court costs in this case will be taxed and retired. That simply means that you will not be required to pay the court costs because the time that you spent in jail has already paid it off. Mr. Butler, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes,
Do you think the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
sir.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir, I've spent time.
Now, Mr. Butler, if you do not have anything else holding you in jail, you should be getting out of jail today. And I'm going to follow the plea bargain agreement. Please stand next to the bailiff and follow her directions. All right, you have a blessed day. Christine Butler is the next case.
Let me see if I can get it.
All right. Thank you. Yes, right here in his face. All right, you just watch it. Thank you.
No problem. Gotcha.
No, you gotta get fired.
Judge, on the case of Burbank, I was not able to confirm a deal. Actually, is out today. So I
Okay.
was not able to talk to her about that case.
Oh,
I could make the offer that I was going to make in the event that there wasn't a deal, but it'd be up to the defendant if he wants to.
okay. Just hold on a minute.
I just need to. I just talk fetch the case.
This is call number 24CCCR 1894, case of style of state of Texas versus Christine Michelle Butler. Ms. Butler, is that your full name? How are you doing, Ms. Butler?
Okay.
That's good. Ms. Butler, would you please raise your right hand? Ms. Butler, do you swear, affirm, to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Ms. Butler, you may put your hand down. Ms. Butler, you're representing your case by your attorney Langston Adams. Attorney Adams, do you waive a record in Ms. Butler's case?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Butler, I have before me on my computer a document that is titled Information. This information was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information, it alleges that you, Christine Michelle Butler, on or about July 4th of 2024, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of failed to identify fugitive with intent to give false information. Ms. Butler, do you understand what you have been charged with?
Yes.
And to this charge, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, no contest?
No problem.
Are you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily?
Yeah.
And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges? That's what no contest means. And Ms. Butler, I also have before me a document on my tablet that's titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments. You recognize this document? On page 2 of this same document, there's a set of initials CB on a line next to a box that's checked no contingent. Did you place your initials on this document? On page 3 of the same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled Defendant District Signature. Okay, you have to speak up.
Yes.
And on the next document, that's titled Trial Court Certification, the Defendant's Right of Appeal. Do you recognize this document?
Yes.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant? At the top of this document, there's one box that's checked. The box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yeah.
I also have a document on paper that is titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document?
Yes.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes.
Ms. Butler, before you signed and initialed these documents, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Yes.
And did you understand everything that your attorney went over?
Yes.
And is everything in these documents true and correct
Yes.
to the best of your knowledge? Ms. Butler, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes.
Stay up for stage one.
Any objections?
No objection.
No objection. States Exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Adams, you've advised that counsel, Ms. Butler, is there any evidence that she is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
Any evidence she's incompetent? No, not having any.
And Ms. Butler, your attorney, Mr. Adams, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes.
Ms. Butler, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
And what is the agreement?
The agreement in this case is a 21 days time served, court call sex or retired in this case.
Ms. Butler, the state is offering that you serve 21 days in Jefferson County Jail, but you will not have to serve any more time in the Jefferson County Jail on this case because you've already served 21 days in Jefferson County Jail. Therefore, you'll be given credit for the time that you have already served. The court costs in this case will be taxed and retired. That simply means that you will not be required to pay the court costs because the time that you have spent in jail has already paid it off. Therefore, the court costs will be taxed and retired. Ms. Butler, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes,
Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yeah.
And do you accept the state's offer?
yeah,
Ms. Butler, I'll follow the plea bargaining agreement that you have entered into with the state. Now, Ms. Butler, if you do not have anything else holding you in jail, you should be getting out of jail today. Ms. Butler, please stand next to the bailiff, follow her directions. Once you follow her directions, you'll be free to follow the bailiff and you have a blessed day.
Mhm.
Maximiliano Garcia Rocha. Mr. Garcia Rocha, your full name is Maximiliano Garcia Rocha?
Yes.
Mr. Garcia Rocha, would you please raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Okay, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Garcia Rocha?
Good.
You doing good? That's good. Now, Mr. Garcia Rocha, you're represented in your case by your attorney, Langston Adams. Mr. Adams, do you waive the record in Mr. Garcia Rocha's case?
Yes, I do.
Mr. Garcia Rocha, I have before me a document that's on my computer that's titled information. This information was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information, it alleges that you, Maximiliano Garcia Rocha, on or about November 3rd of 2024, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offensive assault, committing bodily injury to a family member. Mr. Rocha, do you understand what you have been charged with? And to this charge, how do you plead guilty, not guilty, or no contest? You
No.
plead no contest?
No contest. No contest, yes.
Okay, now, are you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
Okay, and are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges?
Don't fight. You want, yes, no.
You don't want to fight the charges. Okay, now, Mr. Garcia Rocha, I have before me a document on my tablet that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments. You recognize this document? On page 2 of the same document, there's a set of initials MGR. And they're on the line next to boxes check nolo contendere, which means no contest. You place your initials here? Okay. On page 3 of this same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes.
All right. The next document that's titled trial court certification of defendant's right of appeal, do you recognize this document?
Yes.
And is this your signature?
Yes.
Now, at the top of this document, there's one box that's checked. The box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that? All right. I also have a document on paper that is titled discovery certification. Do you recognize this document?
Yes.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes.
Now, Mr. Garcia Rocha, before you signed and initialed these documents, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Yes.
And did you understand everything that your attorney went over?
Yes.
Is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge? Mr. Garcia Rocha, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes.
Okay.
Never states one.
Any objections?
None.
No objections. State's exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Adams, you've advising counsel, Mr. Garcia Rocha. Is there any evidence that he's currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
None.
Mr. Garcia Rocha, your attorney, Mr. Adams, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his services?
Yes.
You are? Okay. Mr. Garcia Rocha, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
And what is the agreement?
The agreement in this case is to 12 days time served, court call, Saxon retired.
Okay, Mr. Rocha, the state is offering that you serve 12 days in the Jefferson County Jail, but you would not be required to serve any more time in the Jefferson County Jail on this case because you've already served 12 days in Jefferson County Jail. Therefore, you'll be given credit for the time that you've already served. The court costs in this case will be taxed and retired. That simply means that you will not be required to pay the court costs because the time that you have spent in jail has already paid it off. Therefore, the court costs will be taxed and retired. Mr. Rocha, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes.
And do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just? And do you accept the state's offer? Mr. Rocha, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Now, Mr. Rocha, your attorney has a document that is titled Model Written Ammunition on Ineligibility to Possess a Firearm Ammunition. I'm going to go over this document with you, and it states in accordance with Texas Administrative Code Section 176.1, the court hereby admonish you of the following. Number one, you are by entry of order of judgment ineligible under Texas law to possess a firearm ammunition. Number two, beginning now, if you possess a firearm ammunition could lead to charges against you. If you have questions about how long you will be ineligible to possess a firearm, you should consult an attorney. Number three, under Texas Penal Code Section 46.013, a firearms mean any device designed, made, or adapted to expel a projectile through a barrel by using the energy generated by an explosion or burning substance, or any device readily convertible to that use. B, firearm does not include a firearm that may have as an integral part a folding knife blade or other characteristics of weapon made illegal by Penal Code Chapter 46, and that is one, an antique or curio firearm manufactured before 1899, or two, a replica of an antique or curio firearm manufactured before 1899, but only if the replica does not use rimfire or centerfire ammunition. For more information about the laws that make you ineligible to possess a firearm or ammunition, or for more information on how long your ineligibility to possess a firearm or ammunition lasts, the court recommends you contact an attorney. For your reference, you may wish to consult the statutes listed below, which may or may not apply to your circumstances. Code of Criminal Procedure, Article 17.292, Magistrate's Orders for Emergency Protection. Code of Criminal Procedure, Article 27.414E1, plea of guilty or no contendory in misdemeanor. Code of Criminal Procedure, Article 42.0131, notice of persons convicted of misdemeanors involving family violence. Penal Code Section 46.02, unlawful carrying weapons. Penal Code Section 46.04, unlawful possession of firearm. Penal Code Section 25.07, violation of certain court orders or conditions of bond in a family violence, child abuse and neglect, sexual assault or abuse, indecent assault, stalking, or trafficking case. Family Code Section 85.06, 85.026, warning on protective order. Now, Mr. Garcia Rocha, the written admonition is for your records. This will conclude your case. Please stand next to the bailiff. And again, if you do not have anything else holding you in jail, you should be getting out of jail today. Stacey Johnson. Johnson. This is cause number 24 CCCR 1050. Case is styled the state of Texas. versus Stacy Johnston. Mr. Johnston, is that your full name?
Yes, sir, it is.
Mr. Johnston, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Johnston, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir, I
Mr.
do.
Johnston, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Johnston?
I'm doing all right this morning, considering.
That's good. Now, Mr. Johnson, you're represented in your case by your attorney, Attorney Langston Adams. Attorney Adams, do you waive a record in Mr. Johnston's case?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Johnston, I have before me, I'm gonna need an affidavit of entity. I have before me a document that is titled information. This information was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information, it alleges that you, Stacy Johnston, on or about February 26th of 2024, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense, burglary of a vehicle. Mr. Johnston, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, sir, I do.
And to this charge, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, no contest?
No contest, sir.
Are you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges? That's what no contest means.
Yes, sir, no, sir. No.
And Mr. Johnson, I also have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir, I do.
On page 2 of the same document, there's a set of initials on a line next to a box that's checked no contingent. Did you place your initials on this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 3 of the same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled Defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes, sir, it is.
And on the next document that's titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled
It
Defendant?
is, Your Honor.
At the
Yes, sir.
top of this document, there's one box checked. The box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. You understand that statement?
Yes, sir.
I also have a document on paper that is titled Discovery Certification. You recognize this document?
Yes, sir, I
Is
do.
this your signature on line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Johnston, before you sign and initial these documents, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything that your attorney went over?
Yes, sir, I did.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Johnston, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, I am.
State,
Upper States one.
any objections?
No.
No objections. States exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Adams, you've advised and counseled Mr. Johnston. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No.
Mr. Johnston, your attorney, Mr. Adams, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, you have.
Mr. Johnston, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
And what is the agreement?
The agreement is to 45 days jail with credit for 28 days.
Okay. Mr. Johnson, the state is offering that you serve 45 days in the Jefferson County Jail. And you'll be given credit for the 28 days that you have already served. What's his court cost? Court cost in this case is $277. Are you able to pay that today?
No, no, sir, I can't.
Okay, Mr. Johnson, I have before me a document that is titled Jefferson County Affidavit of Indigence. I'm gonna hand this to your attorney. He's gonna hand it to you for you to review. Do you recognize that document?
Yes, sir.
On page 2 of that same document, there's a signature, the next page of the same document, there's a signature, top left-hand corner, it says defendant's signature. Is that your signature? The
Yes,
next-
sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
It is. It is.
Now, Mr. Johnston,
Yes, sir.
is everything in that document still true and correct today?
Yes, sir, it is.
Okay, Mr. Johnson, the court is gonna find that you're indigent. Based on the finding of indigency, the court cost in this case will be waived pursuant to Article 42.15 of the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure. That simply means you won't have to pay it.
Thank you so much.
Okay, now, you're welcome. Now, Mr. Johnson, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir. I do.
And the adjustments that court has made considering that you're indigent?
Yes, sir, I do.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir,
And do you think it's fair and just?
I do.
Okay. And Mr. Johnson, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Mr. Johnston, this will conclude your case. Please stand next to the bailiff, follow her directions. Once you finish following her directions, you'll be free to follow the bailiff, and you have a blessed day. Mr. Adams, this is your last case. You're free to go, and you have a blessed day.
Thank you,
Yes, he can have a seat. They gotta make the adjustments.
Yeah.
Flavia Holcomb.
Your Honor,
That's what
before
she-
we speak on this case, you may want to mute too.
Hmm?
I said, Your Honor, before we speak on this case, you may want to mute the YouTube.
Yeah, we're gonna, we have to get to that point. Okay, this is cause number 24 CCCR 1660. We're gonna have to, he's gonna have to go into the jury room. This gentleman, yeah,
It's ready.
before we start the hearing,
It's ready.
huh?
I think the stream was getting trying to get bigger purple sweat.
Okay, this is cause number 24 CCCR 1660. Case is style of state of Texas versus Flavia Holcomb.
Yeah.
Ms. Holcomb is present in court with her attorney Christy Carlton. Ms. Holcomb, how are you doing?
Pretty good.
That's
Pretty
good. And
How you
Ms.
doing?
Carlton, how are you doing?
Doing well, Your Honor.
I do have a.
And the state is represented in this case by attorney Andrew Hubel. Attorney Hubel, how are you doing?
Doing well, thank you, Judge.
Okay, now the court is going to conduct a hearing, an informal inquiry pursuant to Article 46B.004 of the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure. Now, pursuant to Article 1.24 of the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure, all trials and proceedings shall be public. However, pursuant to the case of Lilly versus State 365, Southwest Third, 321, the right to a public trial is not absolute. It may be outweighed by other competing interests, such as the interest in security. And the other one is the second ground would be so that the person will receive a fair trial, and third, to prevent the disclosure of non-public information. Now, Ms. Carlton, are you requesting that this portion of the hearing or this proceeding be closed to the public to present the disclosure of non-public information?
Yes, Your Honor, I am.
Okay, the court finds that the party seeking the closure has advanced an overriding interest that is likely to be prejudiced to her client in that it will disclose non-public information. The court finds that this request is no broader than necessary to protect the interests of her client. The court has considered other reasonable alternatives, and the court finds that the closure of this hearing is adequate, and therefore this hearing will be closed to the